You know it's bad when Greg Kelly has to has to go full Glenn Beck on us. And I think the one thing we've all learned is never go full Glenn Beck. And I guess he enjoys having props there. It's the only time he's not, I guess, technically alone in the studio. I know, touche. But this is Greg Kelly. Trump indictment is a political hit job.
Yeah, look.
All right.
This is a jumbo calendar, okay?
Okay. I had to take the bus to Office Max, okay? A place I hate. I don't like going there. There's people in there. They're all diversity hires. You can tell, like, these don't look like business people to me. All right.
9 years divided into months, okay? Years and months.
Yes, we understand how calendars work.
108 months altogether. We did this because I think it's interesting. When the
What, you and the Gregorian monks?
Alleged offenses committed by Donald Trump, when they allegedly happened, as to when he was actually processed or charged. So let's go all the way back to 2016, which is all the way up here.
Oh, boy.
This is where the alleged payment thing was Stormy Daniels, right? Then you got to go all the
Right. Now, so you've just stopped arguing that that was criminal and it actually happened. Cool.
way over here to January 6th. And then
Why is there no line on January 6th? Are you going to draw that to the last
8th of 2022, that's when the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago. So they were kind of all over the place, right?
Yeah, this is fabulous. I don't want to be a dick, but do you even Sharpie, bro? The fuck's wrong with you? I thought you were a Trump fan. Where's your goddamn Sharpie? Fucking kind of scrawly horseshit. This looks like the kind of stuff like a dude with a manifesto all bundled together, like papers written, tied up with string, like, this is my plan for when I take over the world. This is the beginning of one of those, Greg. This is how that shit starts. This is 10 years from now, Greg Kelly on a fucking park bench screaming at the sky about lizard people and UFOs. It started tonight with an ink pen and a dream.
Isn't it wild that all the indictments are falling in this 3-month span on the federal level? And you got this one over here, the local, only 2 months separated from the federal indictments.
Yeah, it's almost like he was president during most of it. And then after he was president, it took time for the DOJ to settle down and get to looking into these crimes because he was able to avoid any of the investigations on any material level because he was president, and he filled the Justice Department and other places with sycophants to run interference for him, like Bill Barr. You know what would have brought this shit, or fucked with this whole timeline? If Bill Barr had just allowed him to have been indicted. He could have stepped down halfway fucking through. Somebody else would. Mike Pence was running the COVID response anyways. He just wouldn't have had to do all those stupid fucking, like, it's fine, why don't you pour some bleach up your butthole?
And how many months did they have to choose from? They waited until within less than a year away from the primary.
Okay, first of all, no. You're leaving out E. Jean Carroll busting his ass. I guess maybe that's the March one. Is that the local one you're talking about? And again, these dates happened because he punted. He's been pushing these things off. He just runs out of time.
Doesn't that seem suspicious?
No, it does not.
Isn't that kind of possibly prosecutorial abuse?
No. I would. You'd have to ask Doctor Who.
Or election interference?
I don't know. But when did he decide to run? What? How about this? Show us on the map or the fucking calendar sketch, whatever travesty you have laid out there. Show us on there where he got his target letter that he was the subject of a grand jury, and then the date he decided to run for office, because that happened after.
I think so. All right, take a look at this.
Let's be clear on this point. It wasn't just that they asked for a pause. The president specifically asked me, and his gaggle of crackpot lawyers asked me to literally reject votes, which would have resulted in the issue being turned over to the House of Representatives, and literally chaos would have ensued.
Mike Pence, there was a way to do it, and people can disagree about that.
Yes, normal people.
I understand, but did you just
Do you?
call them crackpot lawyers?
Yes, yes. Sidney Powell is a fucking crackpot. Rudy Giuliani is a fucking crackpot. DeGeneva is a fucking crackpot. He was surrounded by lunatics, dumb fuck. He wasn't talking about White House counsel. Yeah. Why are you even making the fucking face? Tell you what, why don't you have Sidney Powell on and ask her how it feels when Mike Pence, called you a crackpot? You won't have her on. You know why? Because she's a fucking crackpot.
That's something coming from Vice President Pence. Where did he?
Yes, I agree. The way he looked at Trump and his longing, loving gaze was weird as fuck. But since Trump is such an egomaniac and at the same time suffers from low self-esteem, he only likes people around him who will stare at him lovingly and are amazed. Oh my God, who made a poopy? What a king. And so you have to be that way to get anything done.
Go to law school. It's fine law school, but it's not all that.
What?
IU McKinney School of Law. Never heard of it, but number 98 in the nation.
It's Illinois University. 98 in the nation.
And I don't think he actually ever practiced law.
Who gives a fuck? Here, you know what, Greg? This is odd, and I have no interest in defending Mike Pence. But one of the things you could say about Mike Pence is that he went to law school and then went, I'm not a good lawyer. I'm not a good attorney. It's not what I do. I'm better suited to, I'm going to be a right-wing radio host or something. I just feel that and pulled that. My parents wanted me to go to school and get a law degree, but I'm going to, did I say, he went to, Indiana University. What did I say? Did I say Illinois? Sorry, yes, Indiana University. So he went to Indiana University, got his degree because his parents were like, get a law degree, blah, blah, and you can always fall back on that. And then he went into, he thought he was going to go into politics and that kind of shit, and he became a right-wing radio host. So what the fuck degree do you have, Greg Kelly? What the fuck? Your dad was the commissioner of police in New York. That's it. The fuck else are you good for? He's at least got a fallback career, and he was the vice president of the United States. He made it that far. And largely, all of that legal study that he went through, you can go to, this is how fucking stupid Donald Trump is. This is how dumb Donald Trump is. You can go to the 98th rated law school in the fucking country and know that what Donald Trump was trying to do was illegal. You don't even have to be in the top 40.
Rudy Giuliani went to New York University Law School, one of the top 10 in the country.
Right, so everybody can make mistakes.
And became one of the top prosecutors in American history.
Well, I mean, as an Italian man, he helped broom out the Italians so that the Russians and the Chinese could move in. I'm sure they're grateful.
John Eastman went to the University of Chicago Law School and became one of the top academics in the country.
Yeah, if I may, point of order, Mr. Chairman, if I could. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Let me just find one thing real quick. I don't want to go there. Yeah, there you go. So here's the top mob lawyers in the country. Let's see. Go to here. This business. Number 5 is David Breitbart. Interesting name, wouldn't you say? Breitbart has seen all during his 40-plus years as a lawyer. He defended some of the biggest names in the world of organized crime, including the Bonanno crime family, Joseph Massino, before he decided to become a government witness, and drug lord Nicky Barnes. It was his work for Barnes especially that earned him a 5-star reputation among gangsters. Better yet, after one particularly huge success for the New York drug boss, that's he used an untoward word for him. Check out the video of the documentary Mr. Untouchable, in which Breitbart describes the scene in his own words. I'd rather not, actually. And real quick, let's go back to here real quick, and I want to go to take this, and I want to copy that, and I want to put it over here, and then I want to paste this, and then I want to look up law David Breitbart. Okay, let's see. I think he goes to David Breitbart practices law, I guess, in New York City, or did, or whatever. Let's see. David Breitbart, one of the New York's top criminal lawyers. There we go. Criminal go judge for not giving his client effective counsel. Stopped the trial the second day. Said it was blah blah blah. Maybe a lot of let's see. I'm trying to find where he went to school real quick. David Breitbart, law degree. See what this right. Yeah, Breitbart turned to Brooklyn Law, went to Bridgeport BS. David lawyer Breitbart was born in 1939, educated University of Bridgeport, Bachelor of Science, Brooklyn Law School, got a Juris Doctor in the career. Let's see, law office. Yeah, David Breitbart, attorney in New York. Well, that's just all that stuff. I'm gonna get out of here. Okay, and then we go to Frank Regano. Now that sounds like a mob lawyer here. Frank Regano was from the old school. He defended mobsters when they still ran much of the country, much like Santo Traficante Jr. and Carlos Marcello and Union Big Jimmy Hoffa back when JFK was shot and it seemed feasible that La Casa Nostra was behind the hit. Did I say feasible? According to Regano, the mob definitely whacked the President of the United States. He claimed that a few days before his death in 1987, Florida mob boss Santo Traficante Jr. confessed to him that he and New Orleans mafia leader Carlos Marcello had arranged a murder. It was a mistake, Traficante confided. Carlos Marcello screwed up, he allegedly said. He should have killed John. We should have killed Bobby Kennedy because they fucked up. They just killed one of those Kennedy boys. Number 3, Gerald Shargel. He's the go-to guy for many of America's top crime bosses and unanimously regarded as one of the country's best defense attorneys. The New Yorker once described him as the finest of his generation. He was supposed to represent Salvatore Gravano at his racketeering trial alongside co-defendant John Gotti, but when Gravano turned state's evidence, the plan changed and Shargel joined Team Gotti to faced Gravano head-on. More recently, Shargel is known for defending hip-hop bigwigs like Murder Incorporated record label owners Irv and Chris Gotti. That's not their real name. They just borrowed it from John Gotti to gain some street cred. And crime boss turned music mogul James Jimmy Henchman Rosemond. He won acquittals for the fake Gotti brothers, but saw Rosemond go to prison for life on racketeering charges. Bruce Cutler. Saul is known for his charm and his charisma in the courtroom, but even he would be blown away by the whirlwind that is Bruce Cutler. They're talking about Better Call Saul. There is nothing Cutler can't or won't do to defend his clients. He's best known for standing tall next to and in front of infamous Gambino crime family boss John Gotti Sr. Let's see, I got to find this out. So where did Bruce Cutler go to school? That's what I want to know. This fella right here. Hold on. Grab this shit, copy that, move this over to here. Hold on, I got to go back to there. I want to find out shit. Okay, I'm gonna paste, and then let's see. Went to school. Where'd he go? Fantastic. There we go. Bruce Cutler. There he went to Brooklyn Law School. God, a lot of these guys went to Brooklyn Law. Cutler's father, Murray, was a New York City detective who later became a criminal defense attorney. Boy, that's a flip. While being interviewed on the radio program Conversations with Alan Wolper at WBGO, Cutler said he was inspired by his father's pro-labor, pro-union loyalties to an FDR-style social democratic position. Growing up in Flatbush, he graduated from Poly Prep Country Day School. That sounds gangster. Formerly a Brooklyn assistant district attorney, Cutler gained notoriety in the 80s when he won 3 acquittals for Gambino crime family boss John Gotti. So these fellas, they all went to Brooklyn. All right, here we go. But Eastman went to number 3, went to Chicago Law School.
These are not crackpot lawyers.
Yeah, they are. Howard Hughes was a crackpot at the end of his fucking life. People lose their fucking minds. And these guys trying to engage in criminality by using their awareness of the law and knowing full well it was a crime, but doing it because they thought it would gain them power and the like, is not the crack part of it. He's talking about Sidney Powell and the rest of these folks, and Eastman. I think Eastman is included in that. And Giuliani's just fucking gross and stupid.
Pence is just mimicking what the mainstream media say. It tells you something about Mike Pence.
Yeah, it does. It does. It tells you he's got a line at some point. Speaking of a line, if I do say so myself, let's see. Let me see what they know. Yeah. So this is this is who he's actually talking about. Just so you know. These are the people. Giuliani, who's completely full of shit and has been disbarred. Eastman, who is a power-hungry lunatic who thinks he's going to be the guy, the linchpin to, reconstruct elections in the country. Sidney Powell is a QAnon fuckhead, and Clark is views himself as like his only ticket to ride is absolute power. Who are the Donald Trump co-conspirators in the 2020 election interference indictment? 1, Rudy Giuliani. 2, John Eastman. 3, Sidney Powell. 4, Jeffrey Clark. 5, Kenneth Chesbrough. And co-conspirator 6, we now think is it's a coin flip. But ultimately, they are all those folks are indeed fucking crackpots.
And here's something else about Mike Pence.
Yeah, fuck him.
It really bothers me.
Mm-hmm. He's married to the same woman for a long time and supposedly has Christian values and brought along the evangelicals and got them. He let himself be used to drag evangelical voters to support a man who grabs women by the pussy. A man that he stared lovingly and adoringly at every day and made every excuse in the fucking book for, but he would never leave his daughters or granddaughters unattended around the man. That's not what it is. That's not what it is. Oh,
he could have told people ahead of January 6th, my only duty and role that day is to count the votes, nothing else. He could have said that out loud. He knew his mind was made up, but why didn't he tell anybody?
Jesus, because he shouldn't have to. And I suppose he didn't want to get assassinated.
I mean, he told Mark Short and he told his daughter. So he's driving over to...
And he told the president a bunch of fucking times.
To the Capitol on January 6th. He's pulling up, and we have this from his book. See, he knew what he was going to do. He also knew that nobody else knew.
I turned to my daughter and said with a sigh, God bless those people. They're going to be so disappointed.
Why didn't he roll down the window and say, hey, I'm just going to rubber stamp the whole thing. Sorry. Again, Mike.
That's not the same fucking thing. Wait a minute. Listen to that quote again. That's not a man saying, I've decided right now and you're the only person I'm fucking telling. It was abundantly clear to him that they're going to be disappointed. It wasn't that he was making a decision. He believed there was no decision to be made. It wasn't even a point of conversation like, I'm just going to do it. He's already said, I'm going to do my duty. The expectation that he would do something else is the fucked up part. The idea that anybody thought he after all these lawsuits, after all the recounts, after all that shit, that somehow he would decide, you know what, fuck it, this is the time. I'm going to just screw with the entirety of our electoral process, to try and win me and my boss another round that we didn't fucking earn. The news isn't that he did his job. The news is that Trump tried to stop him from doing what was normal and legal.
We also knew that nobody else knew.
I turned to my daughter and said with a sigh, God bless those people. They're going to be so disappointed.
Why did he?
That is not, by the way, at all what Greg Kelly said he just said. Listen to the, this has got to fucking matter at some point. And I know I'm probably the only person who fucking gives a shit. But this is his preamble. You know what bothers me about Mike Pence? Here we go.
Duty and role that day is to Pence. It really bothers me.
Here's what bothered me. This is it.
You know, he could have told people ahead of January 6th, my only duty and role that day is to count the votes, nothing else. He could have said that out loud.
Again, he didn't have to. The expectation that he should even need to say it is the fucked up part. The idea that Trump was even asking him to say anything, and contrary to that. Again, after all the lawsuits, everything was asked and answered. There was no opportunity. We're not talking about, the Kennedy situation where there were 147 votes difference and they had two sets of electors in fucking Hawaii that was not going to be determinative, or the 500 votes in fucking Florida that it turns out Gore ultimately won. And the country moved on from any fucking way. All of this part of it, especially from people seeking re-election, the idea that they would run interference on their own second term to do this is madness. So the fact that he's like, why don't you just make him announce everything that he's not going to do, that you want him to do, that nobody would do? Just storm into every restaurant going, okay, I'm not going to dip my nuts in everybody's beverage. I'm not going to do it. And I'm just going to let you know that. I believe he thinks I have every right to, and he dared me to do it. But I'm concerned that A, that's illegal, and B, it's gross.
Knew his mind was made up, but why didn't he tell anybody?
Why didn't Trump tell people that Mike Pence had told him that? He lied about what Pence had said.
I mean, he told Mark Short, and he told his daughter.
And he told Trump multiple times.
So he's driving over to the Capitol on January 6th. He's pulling up, and we have this from his book. See,
right. And this is supposedly, listen to Greg Kelly. This is Bongholio territory as far as, asserting something is said that is not said.
He knew what he was going to do. He also knew that nobody else knew.
I turned to my daughter and said with a sigh, God bless those people. They're going to be so disappointed.
Why didn't he roll down the window and say, hey, I'm just going to rubber stamp the whole thing. Sorry. Again,
because they would have murdered him. They were already planning to, you fucking idiot.
Mike Pence, that's his position. And he could.
Yes, his position was, I am going to follow the law, even when I don't like it. I know. Fucking madness.
Defend that position. I disagree with it. Donald Trump disagreed with it. People disagree about stuff all the time. It goes.
Yeah, they just disagree about stuff. Like some people think, you should be able to, should you if you cremate someone, do you bother to put them in a coffin? I'm reasonable people could be and if you don't want it to be weird that the coffin's really fucking light, I mean, you could always put other stuff in there. You just, fill it with paper and, I don't know, schematics and shit like that, just to give it some heft so that the pallbearers have something even to, carry. And then, like reasonable people would go, I don't know, I think it's kind of fucking gross that you would bury your ex-wife, on a, let's say in a baseball stadium or at a public swimming pool or on a golf course near the first hole. Especially, considering the fact that she was, if indeed, and as I'm speaking hypothetically, if she was cremated.
To the Supreme Court, 5-4 decisions. He could have said something, and it might have precluded a lot of the strife on January.
Strife? How? Dumb fuck, aren't you the one saying one of those assholes saying it's a false flag? What strife? Weren't the feds setting the whole thing up? Wasn't that a bunch of Antifa folks dressed as maggots? How do you stop it if that's the case? If they're already planning it, regardless of the outcome.
6th. Some of the candidates and the stuff they're saying about this indictment, I think it renders them ineligible to be the nominee and to be president. This is Asa Hutchinson. I'm sorry, if you can't see this indictment for the political hit job that it is, you're not qualified. But anyway.
Well, I don't. There is, if you think Greg Kelly is the standard bearer for what qualifies someone for political office, you, in fact, should be nowhere near the levers of power.
The voters that Donald Trump has misled. And the indictment talks about that he knew that he had not won the election, but he continued to propagate this idea that he had. He misled his voters, and he continues to do that today.
True. That's just a true statement. This is a reality. Trump knew he had lost. We're going to leave it for the next guy. He said to Cassidy Hutchinson, I can't believe I lost to that dude. He was packing his shit. He left. If you didn't believe you lost, why the fuck leave? Why? I mean, genuinely, if you think the level of criminality was that high, how dare you leave? He left because he knew he lost. And he's been lying to the people who voted for him ever since.
I've already been through that about the advisors, Asa Hutchinson, or Ada, as Donald Trump calls him for some reason.
There is no reason. He just forgets. He's an old fuck.
It's not going to happen. Congressman Hurd.
What does that even mean? Address what he said.
Former CIA guy who's running. I wonder why. His denial of the 2020 election results and actions on January 6th show he's unfit for office. Okay. Who are you again? Just good luck with getting people to know who you are.
Right. Look, it's important that Greg Kelly, one of the reasons why he loves Trump is that publicity is more important than reality. If you're known, what you say is automatically more true, which is why he's such a huge fan of the movies of Harvey Weinstein and the comedy of Bill Cosby and the financial advice of Jeffrey Epstein.
Here's a guy I like, Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek? If you like him so much, maybe learn how to pronounce his name. Vivek.
This is the reaction.
I'm glad you froze on that frame. Apparently, whoever works in the booth at Newsmax is not as big a fan. Because it looks like he was just, he's like being struck by a tennis racket.
This is the reaction.
We do not want to become a country where the party in power is able to use banana republic-like tactics to eliminate its political opponents.
Okay, that's not what's happening. Agreed. We don't want to become that. We also don't want to become a country where just because you're rich or you served in office, you cannot be charged with the crimes that you have committed, which is very banana republic as well.
Yet I'm sad to say that's exactly where we are.
That's not where we are.
The allegations...
And he's not sad at all, by the way. This asshole is trying to scoop up maggots and either get them to vote for him eventually on something, or as he runs for another office, or buy a book or a seminar or a product or something from him in the future. And therefore, all he's got to do is, kiss Trump's ass long enough and they'll automatically do it. And he can scoop up a bunch of, everybody who's a My Pillow fan has got too many pillows already.
In this indictment fall flat. It is wrong and incorrect and inaccurate to place blame for what happened on January 6th at the feet of Donald Trump.
Good.
Which part? I mean, I blame him for the death of Ashley Babbitt. I blame him for the violence that happened to the cops. I quite frankly, when it came time for a maggot to shit in the rotunda, I kind of blame Taco Bell.
For you, Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek.
And he's still a competitor of Donald Trump, but he's doing it the right way.
That's right. He's doing it by kissing his ass.
Keep an eye on him.
Yeah, he's my VP choice. Of course, Republicans won't vote for somebody who isn't white. So that's a problem. But, cabinet position, for show.
Now let's check in on Joe Biden at the beach again today. Joe Biden at the beach.
There's a beach in Delaware.
It's not Memorial Day weekend. It's not July 4th. It's not Labor Day. It's Wednesday. I mean,
yeah, he's taking a vacation. He's taking a 1-week vacation in the middle of it. He's on his phone the entire time, by the way.
How
many
vacation days do federal employees get? He was at the beach. He also rode his bike all over the place, which is
yeah. How does he do both? Next thing, he'll be swimming, playing badminton.
Bad idea. I already warned him about this, and he's had at least one major fall off that bike.
That wasn't a major fall.
Not good, not good. Now, he went to the beach also last night, which I can't figure out. Who goes to the beach at night?
Thank God the scandal has been uncovered, guys. Joe's leisurely week off. Who goes to the beach at night? Satan worshipers. Jaws fans. Good Lord.
Generally speaking, I don't think older married couples go to the beach. I know some people go to the beach at night, but I don't know. That's a little bit odd. And he went to
again. And he went in a tan
the
suit.
movies, and not just
he went to the movies.
Any movie. He saw a 3-hour movie on a Tuesday night. It's a.
All right. Well, I thought the Devin Archer stuff was going to lead to nothing, but apparently he's done. I'm sorry. I've made a mistake. Joe Biden is over. I don't feel like he can recover from this. Obviously, I mean, it's one thing for the Devin Archer testimony to be a dud, but a 3-hour movie on a Tuesday night, what the hell?
Weeknight.
A weeknight.
It's a school night if you're an adult, kind of. Well, it's not.
All right. I can't. All right. I don't know how much, Greg, I don't know how much dumber you can get. I have faith in you, but I don't know how much more of it I can actually handle.
School night, I guess. But you know what?
Yeah. If you're an adult, it's not a school night. Yes. And he's been an adult for a long fucking time.
But I mean, he should have.
No, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. I don't know why you brought up it's a fucking school night. The dude's a grandparent.
Be going to a 3-hour movie. What did he see? Oppenheimer. I saw that movie and I could not stay for the whole 3 hours.
Jesus Christ. So you don't have the stamina? What was it? Your bladder? It happens to some men at a certain point, Greg.
Had to get back to my life. I had stuff to do, and I'm not.
I had stuff to do. So obviously you were alone.
The president of the United States. I just have a show on channel 333. I had to get back to work. I could.
Well, why'd you buy the fucking ticket then? Dum-dum? How did you not know? What movie were you? All right. God damn it.
I didn't stay for the whole thing. I did stay through the test in New Mexico. Overrated.
Jesus Christ. I did stay through the test in New Mexico.
Movie.
Overrated movie. You didn't even see the fucking end, dum-dum. How do you know? You can't say. All right. Shit. He's just mad because there was so much in it that he had no idea ever happened.
Anyway,
it was a terrible movie that I walked out of, not because it was bad, but because I had to be somewhere because I'm fucking dumb and I don't know what time it is. What the shit? Who goes on a fucking school night and then he goes to the beach? I'm exhausted watching the guy's riding his bike. It's just a mistake. I get exhausted riding the fucking bus. God damn it. This is the thing. And he's just doing it to attack Donald Trump.
Next, please, the judge in the case. We have to talk about her for a second.
She is indeed black. So
Tanya Shutkin. This is a bad judge. I'm not saying she's bad. I don't know about her.
You're not?
This is a bad judge. I'm not saying she's bad. Shutkin. This is a bad judge. I'm not saying she's bad. I don't know about her record, but.
This is, all right, we have to mark this down. This is officially Greg Kelly in a nutshell. This clip is everything wrong with Greg Kelly as a broadcaster, as a man, as a Fisher Price character.
Bad for the Trump case because
Well, yeah.
she has major conflicts.
Oh, dear.
Take a look at this. She worked at Hunter Biden's law firm. You can't spend
Spent 12 years at a law firm where Hunter Biden was employed at Boies Schiller Flexner. Wait, so Hunter Biden was a lawyer for 12 years at a firm doing real work? Starting to think he might have known a thing or two about a thing or two.
12 years at the law firm where Hunter Biden worked. Boies Schiller Flexner or whatever. It's you
Or whatever.
can't be there. That's just a major conflict of interest.
At the same time? And even if she was, what the fuck does it? All right.
Next, please. Let's see. The judge donated $1,500 to Obama in 2008 and 2009.
All right. So you're basically saying Eileen Cannon cannot be trusted.
I'm sorry. That renders her ineligible to preside over a case where President Trump is the defendant. And I think we have one.
Why? Biden never ran against, Obama never ran against Trump. And you think that she isn't in the history of America, because she's a Democrat, period, whatever her political affiliation is, she's definitely not Dershowitz, for example. She's gonna donate to his campaign. I'm just saying. Are you fucking bananas? Oh, good Lord.
More. What is it? Number 3. She
Geography. That'll do it. You know, Trump lived in Washington, D.C. I think he should. I think he's probably got to recuse himself from his own case. He should shut the fuck up.
lives in Washington, D.C. Now, why is that? Why is that a problem? Well, if you watch local news in Washington, D.C., they talk about January 6th like it was Pearl Harbor, like it.
They were there, motherfucker. Doesn't make any difference. They also talk about regular crime, and she presides over shit like that, too. She's a judge. I don't give a fuck what's on Good Morning, D.C.
Was, here in New York, like 9/11 or Hurricane Sandy. It's something that affected all of Washington, D.C.
Right.
They're very melodramatic about it.
They're very, oh, I see. That's right. So Greg's saying that New York is being melodramatic about 9/11 and about Sandy. Okay.
And also, the town is 92.1% Democrat. And according to the
So is she, though? How do we measure this? Do you have to pee in a cup? I will.
Constitution, Donald Trump, under the Sixth Amendment, is entitled, all Americans are entitled to an impartial jury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why his lawyers will get to question jurors, and so will so will the prosecutors. Yeah. So I think what you should really garner from that is that Donald Trump should shut the fuck up and not try to weight the jury in his direction.
And it's impossible for him to get one in Washington, D.C.
Why? Why? Do they want to be the people who like get it overturned and cause more damage? Do they want to convict him just because they fucking hate his face and then have that result in another January 6th in their fucking yard? Or do they want to actually rule on the evidence in front of them and treat it as seriously as it is so that they don't have another January 6th?
All right, folks, we need your help. We'd like to know how you feel about this indictment.
Oh, fuck off. You're not farming shit. What? All right. I can't. That's shit. How all the beer I've been drinking is messing up my kidney. It will, because the kidney will mess you up. So, I can't. The fact that this motherfucker is basically pulling a a Russell Brand. You put the comments below. Don't forget to comment below. Don't forget to comment. Don't fucking comment below. Oh, fucking comment. God, that is the CSL. You have outdone yourself, my friend. That is the That is the worst fucking Greg Kelly, the perfect example and the worst fucking example of like broadcast journalism at its worst. Like the ass and the butt knuckle of I'm stunned. I'm fucking stunned.